My first videos were absolute trash, but it's gotten to the point where they're actually hopefully pretty decent. And I've been able to help hundreds of other agents become very strong at video by leveraging these 6 unorthodox creative ninja tricks that I usually don't share. So what I want to do in this video is share not the obvious with you that everybody else is talking about in terms of camera confidence and things like that. What I want to do in this video is share the wizard tricks that I don't see anybody else talking about that actually makes the biggest difference. So we're gonna dive straight in, and I'm gonna help you go from your first videos where you're maybe a little bit uncomfortable to getting to the point where you've got incredible confidence and you're putting out content that's attracting clients at scale. What's up guys, it's Mike Sherrard with eXp Realty, and I train thousands of agents every year to scale their business by leveraging social media, modern strategies, and especially video. And that's what we're gonna be diving into today, because if we again look at my first videos, they were garbage. I couldn't look at the camera, I had no confidence, didn't know what I was saying, sounded like I was in a fishbowl, but I was able to quite quickly get to the point where I was doing decent, and now I'm at the point where I'm doing pretty good, and I've been able to help others do the same. So let's dive straight into these 6 things that I don't see others talking about that really will make a massive difference in the performance and the outcome of your video content. A number of these are going to come as a bit of a surprise, but the first one is rewatch your own videos. I still to this day, after putting out hundreds of YouTube videos and thousands of short form videos, rewatch 100% of my videos before they go live on a platform. So this video that you're watching right now, I will watch this start to finish before I upload it. So what happens is that you are always going to be your harshest critic, and that's very common for entrepreneurs that are very driven, ambitious, and want to do big things. So what's going to happen is that if you watch your own videos unbiasedly, what I continuously do is say, where does my attention drift off? Where do I start watching an 8-minute video and decide to check notifications on my phone instead of watching the video? Because if my attention drifts at 2 minutes and 37 seconds, then probably somebody else's will too. What did I say? What did I not say? What could I have done differently to make it more engaging at that point in time so that I didn't go scroll through Instagram or something like that on here? So by rewatching your own videos, you're going to be able to very easily and quickly point out your weaknesses so that you can constantly be improving. But by not watching your own videos, it's going to be very difficult for you to, again, make the conscious decisions of where things are going wrong so that you can start to do them right, which leads to number 2, which is watching other people's videos. This has been, without question, the number one thing that has made an astronomical difference in the quality of my content and the improvement of the delivery and the cadence and the styling and just the overall ambiance is watching other people's content. And I hear this all the time. People saying that they want to get on YouTube, but that they don't watch YouTube. They're watching something useless like Netflix. Let me give you an example here. Why do you think, if you're looking at like professional NFL players or NBA players, why do professional NFL players study other opponents' games? Well, because you can see what's working, so then you can do better. This would simultaneously be like if you're wanting to learn basketball, why would you not watch practice videos from LeBron James or him playing in games and studying what he's doing? But it's a layer deeper. It's not just watching for entertainment. It's watching these videos with intent. So when I watch other people's videos, and I'll give you a couple of examples of videos that, or channels rather, that are very, very strong that I learn from constantly, but I'm not just watching the video purely for entertainment and again scrolling through social media while I'm listening to it. I'm very focused on the content, but also the hook they use in the beginning, their call to actions, their inflection points, the delivery, the length, the styling, all of the different camera cuts. I constantly watch these so I can say, wow, if they're doing video at the highest level, maybe I could bring that into my videos to make them even better. So a couple of examples of people that have done really, really well with this lately are people like Alex and Layla Hermosi. You've got Iman Ghatzi, you've got Vanessa Lau. There's so many people that are doing incredible content. And if you bring that into real estate or whatever industry you might be in, then that's going to allow you to constantly be improving because they've proven what works at the highest level. So why would you not want to learn from them? But the key to watching other people's and binge watching other people's content is not doing it for entertainment purposes, but doing it for education purposes and analyzing their content, analyzing how they say things, the delivery, all of the subliminal messages, so that you can bring that into yours and make your content even better. But again, just to drive this point home, it's really important to watch other people's content because because how can you expect to put out great content if you don't watch other people's content on that platform? That again, for example, is the same thing as how can you expect to be an incredible basketball player if you don't watch anybody else play basketball? Right? So you really need to approach this in a way where you become a practitioner of the platform and a student of content. Number 3, get the repetitions in. Now, the formula for output or getting success in terms of any activity is SVT, which is skill, volume, time. Now, in the beginning, your skill is very low because you've got no volume in terms of repetitions of content, and the time invested into the activity is very low because you haven't done it. So the skill set is nothing. So in order to get better at content, you need to just overcompensate on volume. Of course, after hundreds of long form videos and thousands of short form videos, I should be pretty decent at content. The same thing is we'll draw parallels between fitness and maybe sports. If you look at trying to get in shape and you want to go to the gym, well, if you go to the gym once, you're not going to notice any difference in terms of your physique because you got one repetition in, you put a little bit of time into it, maybe 60 minutes, your skill set is still low. But as you start to overcompensate with volume and you start to go to the gym every day for 60 minutes for 6 months, well, now the time invested into the activity is significant. The volume of the repetitions is incredible, and now the skill set is developed. The same thing goes as if you want to be great at golf, for example, right? The first time you go to swing a golf club, you're probably going to miss the freaking ball, right? So after that, once you start to get many swings in and improving over time, your volume gets higher, the time gets higher, the skill set gets better. So what you need to understand is that it's a part of the repetitions. It's getting in that time invested into the activity so that the skill set develops so that over time you become better at delivering. Number 4, very important one. Only talk about things that you've got experience with. This is one downfall that I see about a lot of agents is that they see videos that other people in their industry have done and they say, well, I want to do that video because it's got 100,000 views and nobody else is doing it, so I'm going to go do it for my market. But you haven't done it, right? So what happens is the video comes across as really inauthentic. Simultaneously, it becomes a lot of effort because you have to go study this topic. You have to try and practice it and rehearse it and remember it and regurgitate it. Whereas for me, for example, I don't put out videos anymore about cold calling. I don't have like any video about cold calling scripts because I don't cold call. I have a few about door knocking because I did really well with that in the beginning, but I don't do it anymore. I do social media and lead generation and video marketing and branding. So I talk about that. So it's very easy for me to put out high quality content when I'm passionate and doing something every single day, right? Whereas, for example, if you were to ask me to talk about wholesaling, like my business partner at EXP is a very strong investor, it would take me months to try and research all of the things I need to do to say a good video about wholesaling because I've never done it. So I don't do that. I only talk about the things that I've done at the highest level myself because then it becomes very natural. It becomes very authentic because you live it. Number 5, looking at the data. What gets measured gets managed. I will drive this point home in my content until the day that I die. And this is really important because when you start looking at how to make improvements, you have to look at the data. You can't make improvements if you don't know what's working and what's not. If you're doing that just based on assumption like most, you're usually going to assume incorrectly. Whereas if you look at the data, it's proven. So what I do is I go look at a couple of different things that are very specific. Number 1, I go look at the videos that perform the best over a 30-day period so I can say which ones perform the best, which perform the worst. What were the commonalities and similarities between them so I can do less of the ones that didn't do well and more of the ones that did do well. And then I go a layer deeper and say which ones had the highest watch time. Okay, what was the length of those videos? What was the style? What was the cadence? How was the delivery? Okay, let's look at that. The top 50%, the bottom 50%. And then the next layer is going granular in the YouTube studio, going to the analytics section, where what I do is I look at certain data that is related to the first 30 seconds, the performance of the first 30 seconds of your videos in terms of retention. Which videos had the highest retention in the first 30 seconds? What do they say there? How do they hook them? Why did so many people stay? Well, the bottom 50%. What did I say? Why did they dip off? And by constantly improving over time, every 30 days, looking at your content, you're gonna see similarities and commonalities between what doesn't work, and then you're gonna see the same for what does work, double down on what does, and cut what doesn't. And number 6 is one that is incredibly important, which is thinking unbiasedly from a consumer's perspective. Again, you probably put out incredible content. You know that what you're saying and what you're delivering in that video is incredible. However, somebody new that doesn't know you yet does not know that. So what you have to do with your videos is you have to think from somebody's perspective that's never heard of you before, just coming across from you for the first time and saying, am I going to watch the entirety of this video of this person? Am I going to click on their thumbnail versus the other ones that are ranking at the top? Am I going to go so far as to like this video? Would I subscribe? Would I even drop a comment because it was so interesting or there was a call to action to do so? And would I come back and watch more and binge this person's content? And you have to think from a consumer's perspective, because when you think biasedly from your own, you're always going to wonder, why is nobody watching my videos? They're great. They've got so much value, but nobody's coming. When you think from somebody else's perspective, you start to identify why they are not yet coming. And when you can identify that and then make the changes by looking at the analytics, your content is going to start exploding. So those are the 6 things that I do repeatedly every single month for my own business, still to this date, and I help others do as well, especially the agents that are in my group here at the Wolfpack. So if you have any other questions, drop a comment below. Otherwise, I can't wait to see your videos improve. And again, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.